All right, how do you determine whether this was a success or not?
I think it was an ultimate success. This is a day that we put on twofold. One, we had close to 3,000 student athletes that got a chance to come here and compete at Florida State. You got a chance to have the Seminole experience, and we had 70 different schools that were out here that had a chance to evaluate them. And this has been a crazy year for everyone. It's easy to point to the Division I, college football players and all the things they had to go through. You also got to remember the high school players. They've missed out with a dead period on an opportunity to be evaluated, an opportunity to showcase their skills, and we wanted to help provide that. And so today was as much as for the state of Florida and our high school prospects as anything else. And yes, we got to see some great players. We got to see some guys that we really were still in the process of evaluating that came out here and did a great job, and extended some offers, here after camps, and it was really good to be able to see some great players. And so I think it was a success for all of us. It was great for Tallahassee. These kids, got to come in and spend the weekend here, and get a sense of our community, and just I think it was a wonderful weekend.
What was the feedback like from high school coaches throughout the state who got to see like 20 staffs look at their kids?
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. I mean, I got texts throughout the day from high school coaches. We had busloads of kids that came from South Florida. We had kids from Texas. We had kids from all over. But our focus was to make sure that the kids here in the Sunshine State got a chance to get that exposure, and I think that was done and that was accomplished. And more than anything else, we wanted to provide the opportunity, and I think our state took advantage of it. And there were kids today that maybe didn't have the greatest of exposure coming in that are leaving here with Division I offers, and that's special. That's life-changing experiences, and I'm glad to be able to be a part of that. And I think it not only helps us now, but it also will help us in the future. That we're going to be a staff that does what we say and really try to help impact the football in the state of Florida in a positive way.
How beneficial is today from a relationship building standpoint, not just with kids and their parents, but high school coaches, college coaches, everybody involved?
No, I mean, it's great. Any opportunity you get face to face with these kids, when they get to be instructed, and you see the organization and the way that we operate, it's what I challenge our staff with. I mean, this was a display of what our football program is working to be, and the efficiency, the organization, anytime you're dealing with close to 3,000 kids, I mean, there's a lot of things you have to juggle, but we put time and invest in the organizational aspect of it, and making sure that these kids have a great experience, so when they leave here, that they have a great sense of what Florida State football is all about. And there's a lot of guys out here on this field that might not ever get the opportunity to play for us, but they're going to leave here as Florida State fans because of the experience that they had.
Were you surprised at all by the walk-up crowd and just the numbers?
I wasn't. I mean, we knew. I think we got pre-registered close to 1,900 to 2,000. I mean, it was way up there. But I pretty much figured, just from our communication with coaches and the group that was coming, that we were going to have a big group. I think we had close to 600 within the first hour and a half of walk-ups, and so, like I said, pretty incredible day.
What was it like seeing all your current players come out here and invest completely? Like, you had Jock Burrell blowing his whistle constantly.
Man, I tell you give our players a whistle, and they went. That was one of their joys, and they looked official. I told them they got to start working the coaches' hours if they want to walk around with the clipboard and really get to that point of it. But it's fun. It's a chance for them to give back. I mean, it's great that they came out and got a chance to have that experience, and you see. The fun thing as a coach is when you start hearing the things that you're telling them, and now they're telling others. And they enjoyed that. It was a fun day for them as well.
How enjoyable has this week been? Just things opening up, getting back to normal, being able to show the program off in person, and having those in-person relationships with young men.
Man, it's big. We've spent a lot of time investing in the relationship virtually. A lot of these kids are 22, 23, 24 class that we've had to work through the coaches. We've had to be able to connect to them that way. But from the day that I got here, it's been a part of building those relationships. So I wasn't expecting the 15-month time where we couldn't have them here face to face, but I think we're seeing the dividends pay it off. And to have the kids that we've had throughout the first week, it's been remarkable. And we try to be unique in our presentation and the experiences that they're having. Last night was incredible, and a little different setting than this, but you look at the guys that have come on this campus in the last week, and that have a real genuine interest and are feeling that excitement and that buzz for Florida State football, and not only where we are but where we're going. I mean, that's what we can do right now, and that's what we're continuing to build for.
Mike, this is the first time you're going to evaluate kids firsthand since you've been at Florida State. I mean, how important is that when deciding to extend an offer to see a kid interact with the coaches, get out here?
Oh, I mean, that's there were kids today that was the difference. I tell them, I mean, all these guys, I mean, all 3,000 kids that were on this field, they wanted to show their best, and but I tell them, everybody's out here trying to earn something. Right? Everybody out here is trying to accomplish something, to get better. But what are you doing to separate yourself? And there was guys that, a couple young men in particular, that man, their effort is what stood out to me. Yes, they had the size, the speed, the athleticism, but man, you get a sense of their want to. And what is their passion to play this game? What is their passion to be able to separate themselves with what they're willing to give and invest? And those are the things that I love about these settings. It's hard for me, and everybody. Nobody's been able to get on the road, but even for a head coach, these camps are critical, and the experiences that we have. This year is unique a little bit with the on-campus evaluations. We've had some guys that have come in and been able to do some one-on-one workouts, which have been good. But then you get a setting like this today with a big crowd and competitive juices. That was really good.
Coach, talk about how each year it seems like these players are getting bigger, faster, stronger. There's something in the water. What's it like to see these kids? One thing to see them on film. What's it like to see some of them and their physical attributes here in person?
I mean, it's impressive, and I mean that's where the training, the resources that are in place for these kids, and the work that they're doing to put themselves in that position with their diets, the strength and conditioning programs. Some of the things with how they're getting 6'4", 6'5" at a young age, I don't know, but I think that one of the most impressive things is when we were going around the state with those youth camps. I mean, when I got a 13-year-old at 6'6", I mean 260 something pounds that's running around like a deer. I mean, that's impressive to me, and so. We made sure to get that name down too. I promise you. But no, it's impressive, like to see the advanced growth of these guys, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. But that's also what makes our state great. And we got some tremendous athletes, and some great young men that we get to know, and obviously recruit for Florida State.
With the COVID scholarship crunch, you all haven't gone so heavy in the transfer portal the last 2 years. It seems like you could be in a position to attack the high school ranks a lot heavier than other schools this year, just due to spots. How important is that for you to actually go heavy high school this year?
Well, I mean, it's where we want to live. I mean, I think I mentioned it around signing day. We took we'll probably have 9, 10 transfer players that have come into the program. Well, that was also because of the dynamic of our roster. We were the youngest team in all of college football last year, so we needed to be able to add some of those productive players, guys that could not only play at a high level, but also have the maturity and the experience that those guys brought. With this year, there are still a lot of unknowns. I mean, we still have a huge freshman and sophomore class that, where these guys go, what it looks like here moving forward on roster spots and availability. It's going to be something that we're going to have to evaluate throughout. But we definitely want to go after the state's youth and get guys at the high school ranks that we can develop and continue to push forward with. That's what we want the backbone of this program to be.